Welcome to Season 2 of the Break the Line podcast, brought to you by the Youth Advisory Board at Boston Public Health Commission's Youth Prevention Program. We're your hosts, I'm Kegley.
And I'm Dominic.
And today we're going to be talking about vaping and cannabis use at home and at school. We'll be focusing on data, perceptions, and etiquette around vaping and cannabis use among teenagers. Again, I'm Kegley. My pronouns are he, him. I'm 14, and I live in West Roxbury. I go to Edward M. Kennedy School for Health.
And I'm Dominic. My pronouns are he, him. I'm 16. I live in Mattapan. I go to school at ACC, another Coastal College.
For our guest today, we have the pleasure of welcoming back the Brookview House Youth Advisory Board, which is another youth coalition that also works on the stigma around substance use like we do. Hello, Brookview. Would you mind telling us your name, age, and how you're feeling today?
I'm Ayan. I'm 16. I go to Lincoln Sudbury, and I'm feeling pretty calm.
Hello, my name is Janaya. I'm 18. I go to Edward M. Kennedy Baptist.
Vaping. We all encounter this. Ever walk into your school bathroom and suddenly smell strawberries, bubblegums, and different flavors like mango and blueberry raz ice? Well, that's vaping.
I want to discuss this topic because from my experience, I've witnessed many ordeals of cannabis and vaping from my peers around me and how that is.
To start off our discussion today, we are going to be talking about the difference in etiquette in vaping at home and at school and how you have noticed it. What do you think the etiquette is when vaping at home than at school, and how have you seen this at your own school?
If a person were to do it at home, which like in the actual house, which is like very bold, I would say, they would have to have a window open like very wide and stick their head out and like do it basically outside, or they could just be smart with it, not do it at all, or just take a walk. But for my experience in school, the girls, like at least, do it in the bathroom and then we'll spray a whole lot of perfume all around.
I agree with Ayan. It'd be really
Weird.
weird to do it at home, you know.
Yeah.
But at school, they do it in the bathroom and then spray a lot of perfume.
Like Ayan and Janaya were saying, right, you'd have to be very brave and bold to actually be doing it at home without the risk of getting caught by your own parents and having to deal with the punishment. Because think, it's way scarier to be caught by your parents than, by a teacher or something, right? Because the punishment is immediate instead of, waiting for them to call your own. You have the stress of listening to them talk to your parent over the phone. But one question I do have for like you two is, have you walked into a bathroom and actually seen people vaping?
I've experienced that and it was not fun, for me at least.
No, I actually haven't. I just like smell it, despite there being perfume. I can still smell like the other stuff.
Bro, it's annoying, because tell me why. It's lunchtime, right? And I was just coming off my lunch break. I went to use the restroom, and this guy was in the bathroom stall smoking slash vaping off his pen. I was like, please just leave. Because first of all, I'd like to say that I'm a very private peer, if that's a word.
Yeah, person.
Yeah, it was kind of uncomfortable, so I just left and wait for him to like leave.
You can't even use the bathroom.
Right. It's just like an
Literally.
awkward kind of feeling sense. It's like you're there now. Oh, what am I supposed to do?
From your experience, how many people around you do you think vape?
Currently, I'm gonna say none. Previously at my last school, like I knew like 4 kids that did it, but I'm not in contact with them anymore, so my number has shrunk down to 0.
Do I know any students that do it?
Or just like in general, I
In
guess.
general, I don't really know people like that do it, but I know like
You know other
peers from
people, yeah.
school, like-
That's like, yeah, like I feel like you always know someone who does it, but like you're not in direct contact with that person, so
Yeah.
it's kind of like,
I feel that's a pattern with all of us, because my close group, like friends, families, they don't really vape, but my acquaintance slash people I see in day-to-day life, like on the bus, classes, or on the road, they be vaping or whatever they be doing.
Yeah.
Because it's not only vape.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm different from you three because I actually do know people and I have friends who vape or use cannabis, right? I don't really tell them to not use it, but I don't really encourage them to use it a bunch, right? It doesn't bother me. if they get caught, they get caught. That's not really my fault,
Yeah.
right? I'm not the keeper of their person. If that's their decision, their choice. If they want to do that, that's what they get to do, right? I've seen them hotbox bathrooms. I've seen them hotbox buses. I've seen them hotbox a bunch of stuff. Sometimes I've even seen them try and hit it during a class. I don't know how they didn't get caught, but they did do it. They're getting better at it every time I've seen them, right? From what Janaya and Ayan have been saying, right? I have like a very different and more vivid experience with vaping and cannabis use than everyone else, but I still wouldn't say that it's like a bad experience.
Huh. I mean, it's not like directly affecting you. It's just like you knowing. So
The people around you
Right.
are doing it. It's not really your problem.
Now let's get into the data. We're gonna ask you some brief questions about some data points that BPS has collected, and then we're gonna show you the actual data. Let's start off with question 1. What percentage of BPS high school students do you think will vape?
I'm gonna say like 45%.
Yeah, 48.
Yeah, like I don't want to go like too high, but like I also feel like it is like a high number. So I'm gonna have some faith, but also meh.
Faith.
Some faith,
I
but
don't
meh.
have any faith. I
That's
thought
why
it was
it's
like 70, 60, 75.
I mean, there's not a lot of people who vape.
Well,
See, with me, that's what I thought too, right? I thought it was like a ridiculously high number from my experience. I've seen a bunch
Right.
of people vaping, right? So I thought, yeah, that's the same thing everywhere else. But surprisingly, that number is way less than I thought. It's a good 10% of students.
nah,
But again, this is self-reported,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Not
okay.
actually recorded by adults. This
Okay,
is them
that's
recording it themselves. So I'm thinking some of them must have lied or
Yeah.
did not do that or did not
They
do
just
it,
put no.
right? So I don't think that this is inaccurate, but it isn't the most accurate
Yeah.
to say. And the way that they did this was through a survey taken in 2023. So these numbers could have changed, right?
Yeah.
More people could have been more honest this year, but I really doubt that, right? The actual number from my experience, I think is way higher than 10%.
Yeah.
Maybe 45, but probably higher than 45. But let's move on to the next point. What percentage of high school students do you think use marijuana/weed?
I'd say like 70% like advisable because, you know, a lot of students use that.
I think I'm gonna stick with 45 because I feel like not a lot of people can get it, but also there are other ways to get it than just yourself.
Yeah.
Siblings, family, they're like,
Parents or
yeah, parents like you can just get it.
classmates or
Like, you
people
don't
that you
necessarily have
talk
to
you know.
search for it yourself.
Yeah.
You can just like somebody around you that you know has it and then use it. So
Yeah.
Like my first thought was that it has to be lower than the vaping cause. First of all, vaping is new. People like new stuff. And marijuana, who does that? I think that's like for the new kids, teens. I don't think they'd like to do. Yeah, I don't think they'd like to do something that's paying so bad. But yeah, I thought the number was way lower than the vaping one. But as the result says, it's quite not.
That's what I thought as well, but it is surprisingly higher than vaping at 17%, taken again from a self-survey in 2023. But I would say I thought the number would have been lower than vaping because, you know, marijuana is harder to come by, bro. Right? You can get it from a bunch of people, peers, students, family, friends. You can probably even buy it online. I'm not gonna lie, it's not that safe.
for like it actually I think I actually would have changed it to marijuana being higher because you can get the vape from anybody you know, like
You know, you could get the vape from the store.
yeah. But like if you're younger, if you just like found it and then you just have I don't know like how it really works, but like I guess all of it's gone, the flavor's gone. How are you gonna like replace that if you're not the one who actually got it? So maybe in that case, marijuana would be easier for you to get.
Especially online.
Yeah.
There's some more data too, because from this result we found online from the YRBS survey results, right? We also found out that about 72% of teens said that they never tried marijuana at all. 15% reported trying marijuana before the age of 15, which is crazy. Because imagine a 12 to 11-year-old vaping, right? Or, smoking, hotbox in the bathroom, you walk in, right? And then about 13% reported trying marijuana at the age of 15 or older. I wouldn't say that these numbers are wrong. I wouldn't say that they're most accurate. I wouldn't full-heartedly believe this survey if I was like a student and just read it.
I think the before 15% like proves what I said. Like, you could get it from people you know. You don't necessarily have to get it yourself. You can like find someone like family, your siblings. Like, if you have siblings, your siblings will go through your stuff. And it's wild how much they find. So like, and sometimes you won't even really notice that it's gone. So they could just like take it, and then you don't really fully realize that it's gone, or you don't like take it as they took it. You kind of think maybe it was you.
I would say that I agree with Ion. A lot of people could like go in their siblings' rooms and take stuff that they don't even know what that is, and they just take it and do whatever.
Yeah, it's rough, man.
Yeah.
But from your experience, do you think this data is accurate? Why or why not?
I'm gonna say it's in the middle because
I'm unsure.
like it's self-reported. Nobody's gonna self-report themselves.
Yeah.
Like, there's some people obviously that did, but some people aren't. Just like, they're kind of like, yeah, still no. It might be anonymous, but still no. We're going to say no. So, I mean, and also you kind of do want to have faith in people that they are being honest, but with kind of experience, you gotta take it with a grain of salt because of that. I think it's like more in the middle. It's not fully inaccurate, but I feel like kind of is accurate in some points.
I'm gravitating towards unsure because, what Ion said.
I mean, I understand like having faith in people, right? But the truth is the truth, right? And if this isn't right, cause me personally don't think it's right, cause 15%, yeah, right, nah. So definitely, if 72% of team don't use, I'm in the 72%. Yeah, I don't think it's that accurate at all.
I would say that it's not as accurate as it could be, but it isn't like completely wrong. The 13% I think should be higher, because I know people 15 years and older have probably used marijuana more than some 13-year-olds, right? Because again, that's when it's most accessible, when you're older, right? Because again, it's legal then.
Right.
So of course, teens, seniors, right? They can legally buy it, and of course they pass it down to like the younger ages who can't access it, right? So of course, I would think that number would be higher than everything else. But surprisingly, I would probably say that they opted out of reporting themselves, because again, they thought they'd probably get in trouble, seeing as how they're giving marijuana to younger kids. But now let's move on to the second question. Why do you think this data is important for the future of teens in Boston, and how do you think we get more accurate data?
It's important just so we know. Sure, some of it is inaccurate in some ways, but there are still numbers. So you do have to take that and like, okay, you know that there are people doing it. And so you can share that with other people. You can like kind of share like you think that the data is kind of inaccurate, and you can share in what ways you think it is. But I think it's important to like just share it so that other people know, and you probably get more accurate. I mean, we're already doing it anonymous, but you could do that, still continue to do that, and check who's like actually the one giving the survey, because depending on the person who it is, that can change how the person who's taking it will respond to it.
I agree with Ion. Some of this may not be accurate.
For me, I think this data is important for the future of teens, because again, it helps us further educate them, and it can also help us get a rough estimate on how much we should be active in pursuing a fix for this problem, right? And I think how we could get more accurate data is because, again, teens, even though this is a self-survey, right, and it's an anonymous, it's still being held and run by adults, right? So I don't think teens would be very happy to have adults know about what they're doing in the darkness and the shadows, right? So it feels like run by maybe peers of their own age, they'd be
More
more
willing.
reliant on,
Definitely.
actually trying out the survey and being more truthful. Because I know a lot of kids went into the survey, saw it being run by adults, and decided they're going to tell a tiny white lie so they wouldn't get in trouble. Because,
Right.
again, you wouldn't want to walk up into an adult and tell them, yeah, I'm smoking weed, right? That's just going to get you in more trouble.
Yeah, you can get like a judge look, and nobody wants to be judged
Exactly.
for something that they're doing. Like, you can already know it's wrong and still be doing it. And so to be judged even more by somebody else, and by a complete stranger at that, who doesn't even know your like home life and your experience,
It's
it's just
gonna overwhelm you
Yeah.
and upset you.
Yeah, and adults just making you look like a dumb kid, too.
Honestly.
Like, yeah, I wouldn't really want to do that.
So I'm not gonna lie, y'all just took all my answers. And for the
was that
thinking
good?
about the survey, I did that last year and it worked out a lot because as a team working with other teams, I got like 15 to like 20 per participant to like work with me. But I feel like if I was an adult, it wouldn't be that much. And yeah.
definitely no.
As I said, y'all took my answers, so I
just that
can't really
good.
add that much.
It's okay.
We're that good. It's fine.
It's cool.
So in this episode of Break the Line, we talked with Brookview House Advisory Board about the difference in the etiquette and the use of vaping and cannabis, weed at home and school. We discovered how the location of substance use can affect the amount of teens are using. We are also seeing how the data does not match up the experience of teens in Boston. We want to learn how we can better collect this data so that we can try to reduce this number on those who are using.
If you like this episode, don't forget to dive into season 1 and catch the rest of season 2. A huge shout out to Brookview House for joining us. It was a great hearing from you. Be sure to visit our website at CopeCode for more resources on cannabis vaping and developing healthy coping skills to deal with stress. Keep an eye out for more episodes of Break the Line, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at CopeCode Club.